Every summer of my entire life I've been on the farm. I guess I missed one summer when I did an internship for construction, and I've just kind of really grown up with that, and I owned my own combine when I was in high school. We know that with this business we need land. We need to be able to grow the barley to feed it, and we need to have that resource, the land, to grow it. I would think that 98% of the farmers out there, like, they rely on the land, and we rely on Mother Nature, and that's what we want to take care of. Like, that's what we live off of. We feel this pinch at the moment of just this overwhelming, like, anxiety almost of, like, how are we going to continue to have farmland, and how are we going to continue to raise this crop that we need for our business. We don't want this development and the oil production and the, like, influx of people to kind of make that not an option. A lot of people don't have plans for what their land is going to be, and they've all grown up. It's been in their family for hundreds of years, or at least 100 years, as a farm. So I don't see why they don't want to see it conserved as a farm. And that's basically our mission, is to kind of go out here and start talking with these older folks and put a plan in place so that this is going to be always farmland. We're trying to look at different ways of doing that, and one way of doing that is conservation easements. A conservation easement is to preserve the land the way that it is now, and without future development on it.
I've fought development pretty much all my life. I don't know how many houses we got built over there, probably 300 or 400 houses now, that are just since last year. I was thinking about that yesterday, how many farms we've got left. Between our two places, we've got 140 acres. The neighbors have 80, and on the other side of the road, we got 160 over here, and maybe 50 down the road. If you put all those acres together, 640 acres is a section, which is a mile by a mile by a mile. That's about all you got. It's a mile by a mile by a mile. You've got a section of ground left out of 5 miles that used to have a section on each side. I think Colorado and the Front Range has lost the essence of what they used to be.
We want to create the best crop, the best food, the best, I mean, we want to feed the world, really. We farm about 1,500 acres right now. About 10% of that we actually own. And then I would say another probably 50%, so that'd be 60% of the total, is owned by some other farming families. And the other 40% is owned by development companies that has for sale signs on it that say, come develop this, or like this, basically, this land is for sale, do what you will with it. It's not going to be agriculture for much longer. I mean, we'd be lucky to get 3 more years out of it at this point.
As the older generation passed away, there wasn't anybody there to take up the slack, and the heirs of all the older generations, nobody cared to farm, so they sold the farms. And that's what pretty much all of this has done. So you sold off the farm, took the money, and went away. And then a realtor got a hold of it, raped the ground of all its water, sold it, and then split up some of the ground, and some of it they dried up. So now you've got a piece of dirt that's, you got no ability to produce anything other than that they're going to subdivide it.
The water resource is always limited just on the amount of snowpack and the amount of snow that you get every year. There are either oil companies that are using it for fracking, they're using water for fracking, and they're just dumping it into the ground, and then you never see that water ever again. It's gone. And then there's development. There's people that you have to have so many shares of water to build a house, or like each residence has to have so much water, and so that just starts stripping this away from the land over time. So if everybody decided they wanted water at the same time, there's no water left. Growing small grains, I mean, that's kind of why we do that. You usually get this runoff water, and it's time to irrigate. So there's always going to be that as long as you have snow. But I mean, with the climate that's changing, who knows if we're going to even have snow anymore. So it's a big mess. I don't know. I don't know where that's going to go.
If our forefathers wouldn't have developed the ditch systems and the reservoirs to hold the water, we wouldn't have this right now. It's sad to lose everything that our forefathers built for us. But nobody looks to the future. It's all about now. And conservation easement would be wonderful because it looks to the future and tries to conserve something that we'll never be able to conserve ever again if it's gone, if it's taken away.
When we started the whole malt house, it really didn't click, like this connection that we're gonna have with everybody, this connection that we're growing these crops and then they're making this beer out of it and people are consuming it and they're enjoying it, and they're just like, and it's probably some of the best beer that they've ever made. And it comes back to what we've created. I just knew that we were going to be able to become successful, and we were going to make something that is better than anything else in the world. And for people to actually start recognizing that, the brewers, I mean, to be honored with an award from the Maltsters Guild, I mean, it's pretty amazing that like we've actually come that far in just 3 years. I can't wait till the consumer actually realizes what's going on. I think it's going to be a little eye-opening to them. It's just going to be sad if all you have are little plots of land that might be like a house and 5 acres, a house and 5 acres, but it's not the landscape I want to see. I don't want to move from where I grew up, you know, like that's where the name Root Shoot came from. Like we're rooted in Colorado. Like that's where we want to be, and this is where we want to stay. And we're going to do whatever we can to stay here.
Thank you.